Have you ever felt like God was distant? Like your prayers were whispered into silence? Maybe you've carried pain that no one saw, questions that no one answered, and dreams you buried because life just got too heavy. But what if, right now, God is speaking directly to your heart? This is not just a message. It's a divine conversation. In the next few moments, I invite you to slow down, to breathe, to lean in and listen. Because what you're about to hear isn't just words. It's the voice of God whispering over your life. You are not forgotten. You are mine.
Listen closely. Before you move another step, before another thought clouds your mind, pause and receive what I'm about to say. This moment, this very breath, is not a coincidence. You didn't stumble upon these words by accident. I led you here. I've been walking with you longer than you know, and I have something to reveal. Something that, if you allow it to settle deep within you, will shift the weight you've been carrying. That quiet ache you've grown used to, the one you've hidden even from yourself. I see it, and I want to heal it. Let these words enter like light through a broken window, warming the room you thought would stay cold forever. You think I've been distant. I know that. I've seen the way you look around in silence, wondering if anyone really sees what you're going through. You've prayed quietly, unsure if anyone's listening. But I was never far. In fact, I've been closer to you in the moments you felt most abandoned. Not watching from above, but right beside you, whispering peace when the world grew loud with fear. I didn't turn away when you cried in secret. I stayed. I held your soul together while everything else seemed to fall apart. You've made it through nights that threatened to consume you, and you thought it was just your willpower. But it was me. I was the strength you didn't know you had. The world can be a cruel teacher. It measures your worth by what you've accomplished, how much you've earned, who celebrates you or who abandons you. But I do not look at you through that lens. I see something eternal in you. I see what I placed there before the world ever touched you. You are not broken. You are becoming. Becoming someone who understands compassion because you've known pain. Becoming someone who carries wisdom not just from books, but from nights spent wrestling with the silence. You've been hurt, yes. You've been questioned, overlooked, and misunderstood. But none of that changes what I have placed within you. Your story is still unfolding, and what's coming next will not look like what you've just been through. You ask me why things didn't work out the way you hoped, why the door closed, why they left, why you're still waiting. Let me tell you this. I don't abandon plans, I perfect them. What felt like rejection was redirection. What seemed like delay was divine timing. You've been in a season of preparation, not punishment. You've been learning endurance, not failure. I know it felt like you were losing, but you were being trained to carry more than you thought possible. You don't see it yet, but you will. When I open the next door, you'll realize why the others had to shut. And it won't just be better. It will be right, perfectly timed, perfectly placed. There's something inside you, something sacred, that the world cannot take. No mistake has undone it. No betrayal has buried it. You've questioned yourself, replayed choices, wondered if you're too far gone, if you missed your moment. You haven't. You're not lost. You're learning how to come home, home to me, home to peace, home to purpose. Don't let shame write the next chapter. Don't let guilt hold the pen. I am rewriting your story, and every page is soaked in mercy. You've carried the weight of trying to fix everything alone. You've tried to be strong for everyone else while your own heart begged for rest. I never asked you to carry it all. I never asked you to do it alone. Come back to me, not as someone who's failed, but as someone who's ready to be held. I don't need your perfection. I want your presence. I want the real you, the one that's tired, unsure, confused. Let me carry what's too heavy. Let me guide what's unclear. The path forward may still be hidden, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you don't see the way yet doesn't mean I haven't prepared it. I've already walked ahead. I've cleared obstacles you'll never know were there. I've fought battles on your behalf in realms you can't see. The silence you feared meant I was gone. It was the silence of a storm being stilled, of chains breaking without a sound. I'm not absent. I'm active. You are more protected than you realize. The fact you're still standing is not a sign of your strength alone, but proof of my presence. The voices around you may shout doubt. They may whisper failure, fear, discouragement. Ignore them. They don't know what I've placed inside you. They haven't seen the blueprint I wrote for your life. They cannot derail a future I've designed. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need their approval to be valuable. You only need to stay close to me. In the stillness, in the chaos, in every moment. I am your anchor. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of something sacred. A shift, a new breath, a turning of the tide. You're not watching this because you're weak. You're watching this because your spirit is ready to rise. To remember who you are, not according to the world, but according to me. You're my child, chosen, called, covered, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can change that. So listen carefully. There's more, much more. What I have to say next will unlock something you've been waiting to hear. Not just in your mind, but in the core of who you are. Stay with me. Don't stop now. The next part isn't just a continuation. It's a revelation. You've stayed with me this far, and for that I rejoice. Not because you've proven something, but because you've chosen to listen, and listening is where transformation begins. You think you've been waiting on me, but truly, I've been waiting on you. Waiting for the moment when your heart is soft enough to feel my whisper, still enough to recognize my touch. That moment is now. I don't need thunder to reach you. I don't need signs in the sky. My voice echoes in your quiet surrender, in the way you lower your guard, even for just a second, and allow yourself to hope again. Let's walk deeper. You see, the world will try to convince you that what's visible is what's real. That if you can't measure it, prove it, or predict it, then it must not exist. But I created what's seen out of what's unseen. Faith doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in the unseen places, in the soil of uncertainty, in the dark before the dawn, in the valley where you questioned if light would ever return. That's where I've been working in you. That's where I've been growing something no one else can take away. You may feel like your prayers have gone unanswered, but I want to tell you something that may shift your entire perspective. I answer every prayer, every single one, but I don't always answer them with your timing or your vision. Sometimes I say yes. Sometimes I say wait. Sometimes I say, there's something better. You thought I was silent, but I was weaving together a story bigger than you asked for. You asked for relief, I gave you resilience. You asked for escape, I built endurance. You asked for change, and I prepared you to become the kind of person who could carry that change without being crushed by it. My timing is never rushed, and it's never late. There's no such thing as being behind in my plan. You are not behind. You are not too old, too broken, too far gone, or too late. I don't measure your future based on your past. I don't base your calling on your record. I call you because I love you. I equip you because I've chosen you. And the things I've placed in your heart, the dreams, the callings, the quiet urgings you don't share with anyone, those are not foolish. They are seeds of purpose. Guard them. Water them with faith. Trust that even if no one else understands them, I do. You've been surrounded by voices that challenge your worth. Some of them came from outside. Some came from within. That inner critic, the one that says you're not good enough, not ready, not smart enough, not holy enough, it doesn't speak for me. I don't shame. I don't condemn. I convict with love, not to tear you down, but to lift you higher. I will not call you into something without also giving you the strength to complete it. Even when your hands are trembling, I'll steady them. Even when your knees are weak, I'll support them. Even when you feel too small, I'll show you how my greatness works through the humble. This season you're in, it's not punishment. It's preparation. You're learning how to hear me in the quiet, how to depend on me, not on outcomes. You're being refined, and what's refined shines. Let me be clear, your pain is not wasted. Not a single tear, not a sleepless night, not a battle fought in silence has been overlooked. I've bottled every tear, counted every sigh. I saw you when you got back up, even when no one else noticed. That kind of courage, the kind that keeps going even when it feels pointless, that is sacred to me. You've asked me, why so long? I ask you now, will you still trust me? When things don't look like what you hoped, When the people you counted on disappear, when the results don't match the effort, will you They'll trust that I am good, that I am for you, that I haven't abandoned you? Faith is not just believing I exist. It's trusting my nature. And my nature is love. I don't change based on your circumstance. I don't grow tired of you. I don't leave when you struggle. I don't give up when you fall again. I remain. You're entering a turning point. There's a shift happening, not just around you, but within you. You feel it. That restlessness, that sense that something's coming. You're right, but it won't come by force. It will come by surrender. Let go of the picture you've been clinging to. Let go of the deadline you gave me. Trust that I know what you need better than you do. When you surrender what you thought life had to look like, I will surprise you with a joy that cannot be shaken. A peace that makes no sense to the world. A life that overflows not because it's perfect, but because it's anchored in me. You've been praying for signs. Here it is, you are seen. You are known. You are loved. You are surrounded by more grace than you've ever imagined. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to prove yourself. Just receive it. Let it change you. Let it renew your mind. Let it soften your heart. Your heart has been through war, and still it beats. That is not weakness. That is victory. I know what others don't. I know how much it cost you just to keep going. I know the battles no one sees, the pressure you carry, the expectations that weigh you down. But I also know your capacity for beauty, for faith, for radical love and unshakable hope. I placed those inside you. You are not just someone walking through hardship. You are someone being formed into something glorious. Someone who will help others heal because you chose to heal with me. This is the beginning of restoration, of clarity, of alignment. I'm not asking you to be someone else. I'm inviting you to come home to who you really are, the person I created, redeemed, and destined for something greater. You don't have to fear the unknown. You only need to remember that I already dwell there. Your future isn't waiting for perfection. It's waiting for your faith. Stay with me. I'm not done speaking. What comes next will answer the cry of your soul. Are you ready? Let's keep walking. Don't rush this moment. Let it sink into the quietest places of your soul, the parts you've hidden for too long, the parts you've tried to silence because they seem too broken to heal. You don't need to run from them anymore. I'm not afraid of your mess. I'm not discouraged by your struggle. I've always known every corner of your being, even the ones you don't fully understand yourself. And still, I chose you. I claimed you. I call you mine. There's something I want you to realize. Strength is not always loud. It's not always about standing tall or fighting hard. Sometimes, true strength is choosing to stay when you want to run. It's lifting your head one more time after it's been bowed in exhaustion. It's the courage to pray even when you don't feel anything, even when every fiber of your body says it's pointless. But you do it anyway. That's the kind of strength that heaven celebrates. That's the kind of faith that moves my heart. You may think you've fallen too many times, that you've disappointed me with your doubts, your anger, your forgetfulness. But I've never turned away from you, not once. You are not a burden to me. You are not a failure I'm trying to fix. You are a masterpiece in progress, and I'm not finished painting the colors of your destiny. What you call too late, I call perfect timing. What you call broken, I call ready. Don't measure yourself by the world's standards. They were never designed to define you. Let me remind you of something I've said before, but you may have forgotten in the noise. I know the plans I have for you. Plans to give you hope, not harm. Future, not fear. But it's not just a destination I'm leading you toward. It's the transformation I'm doing inside you along the way. The lessons, the stretching, the unexpected moments, they are not detours. They are the very path. Every delay is a doorway. Every heartbreak a pruning. Every question a step closer to the answer. I've placed a divine fingerprint on your life. There are gifts in you, some you've barely begun to uncover. There are callings you've dismissed because you thought you weren't qualified. But I don't call the qualified. I qualify the called. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are exactly who I've chosen to carry this light into the world. And the light isn't for everyone to approve. It's for the ones walking in darkness who desperately need to see just one flicker of hope. You are that flicker. You are that flame. I know some days you wonder if you're making any difference. You wonder if your prayers matter, if your love matters, if your kindness, your efforts, your sleepless sacrifices are seen. I see them all. Nothing goes unnoticed. I see the way you give when you're tired. I see the way you encourage others even when you're needing encouragement yourself. I see the patience you extend in quiet battles no one else applauds. That is what I honor. That is what I bless. You're not invisible to me. You never were. Even when it feels like you're shouting into a void, your voice reaches me. I hear every cry. I collect every tear. I respond in ways that are not always immediate but always intentional. And when I respond, it's never small. It's never partial. I don't give halfway answers. I give in fullness, in wholeness, in timing that's saturated with wisdom you may not yet see. But one day you will. And when that day comes, when things begin to shift, I want you to remember this. The miracle was never just in the outcome. It was in the journey, in the way your heart stayed open, in the way your soul kept whispering yes, even when it trembled. That's where the true glory lies, not just in what I do for you, but in what I grow in you. Your life isn't random. It's a tapestry I've been weaving thread by thread. Some threads are bright with joy, some are dark with sorrow, but together they form something sacred. A story that's not just for you, but for others who will read the testimony of your resilience and say, if God could carry them through that, He can carry me too. Your story will become a door for someone else's healing. That's how my kingdom works. Nothing is wasted. So stop trying to edit your journey to make it prettier. I never asked for perfection. I asked for trust. I asked for presence. I asked for your willingness to keep walking even when the map disappears. And I promise, if you stay with me, I'll lead you to places no human eye has seen. Not just in the world, but in your own soul. Depths of peace, heights of joy, rivers of living hope you didn't think you could feel again. But you will. Let me walk beside you in the mundane and the miraculous. I'm not just the God of the mountains. I'm the God of the Mondays, the mornings you don't want to wake up, the conversations that drain you, the doubts that sneak in when no one's watching. Invite me into those places. That's where I do my best work. In the raw, the real, the routine. I am here, not to impress you, but to embrace you. Keep your heart open. Keep your ears tuned to my voice. I'm not done revealing what's ahead. There are promises I've spoken over your life that have not expired. They're not buried. They're waiting for you to believe again. Not in outcomes, but in me. Not in formulas, but in faith. Not in fear, but in love. I'm calling you deeper. Will you come? You don't need to strive to be noticed. You don't need to perform to be loved. I noticed you long before you ever tried to prove yourself. My love was there before your first victory, and it hasn't dimmed through any of your defeats. I've seen you in every season, in your passion and your confusion, in your breakthroughs and in your silence, and my love hasn't wavered once. I didn't start loving you because of your success. I loved you because you are mine. There are days you feel tired of holding on. You've been strong for so long, it's starting to feel like weakness just to need rest. But I created rest, not as a reward after your achievements, but as a place where your soul meets me. Come to me weary. Come to me unsure. Come with the weight you've tried to carry on your own, and I will lift it. You weren't made to survive this life alone. You were made to walk it with me. Step by step, hand in hand, through valleys and over peaks, in laughter and in sorrow. I never asked you to conquer this world. I asked you to trust me in it. There's something sacred about surrender. The world tells you to hold on, fight harder, push through. But I'm telling you that sometimes the holiest thing you can do is release. Let go of your image. Let go of the need to be understood. Let go of that expectation you've held so tightly it's left bruises on your soul. I'm not asking you to give up. I'm asking you to give it over. There's a difference. Surrender isn't quitting. It's handing the burden to the one strong enough to carry it. And I am strong enough. I've seen the people who walked away. I've heard the words they spoke. I know the sting they left behind. And I want you to know this. Their leaving was not your loss. I've removed some people from your life not to punish you, but to protect what I'm building in you. Not everyone can go where I'm leading you. Not everyone will understand what I've placed inside you. And that's okay. Let me fill the spaces they left behind. Let me prove to you that my presence will always be more fulfilling than their approval. Your heart has been through so much, and yet it still loves. That is a miracle. That is me within you. Don't become numb to that sacred resilience. It's proof that grace is alive and well in your life. The fact that you still have hope, even if it flickers, is powerful. Hope is not weakness. Hope is a defiant act of faith. It's a light in the dark. It's the quiet belief that tomorrow can be better, even when today feels broken. I honor that in you. I nurture it. I'm growing something in you that doesn't need the world's validation to thrive. You've been asking me for a sign, a breakthrough, something visible to prove that I've heard you. But I want you to understand this. The greatest miracles don't always come in flashes of lightning. They often come in the quiet shift within your heart, the moment when fear gives way to faith, when despair surrenders to peace, when you decide to believe again even if nothing has changed on the outside. That's where transformation begins. In the stillness, in the whisper, in the decision to trust even without the evidence. I am not holding back blessings from you. I'm preparing you to receive them. I'm teaching you how to steward what you've prayed for. Some doors haven't opened yet because what waits behind them requires a deeper version of you. One who's grown not just in faith, but in character. I'm not interested in fast success. I'm shaping you for eternal impact. That's why it takes time. That's why it's uncomfortable. But that's also why it will last. You may feel surrounded by uncertainty right now, like nothing is solid, like everything is shifting. But don't mistake movement for instability. I'm shaking what needs to be shaken so that what's unshakable will remain. I'm removing what was never meant to stay so that what's meant for you can be rooted deep. Trust the shaking. Trust the silence. Trust the steps that don't make sense right now. You're not being abandoned. You're being established. I am not building your life on sand. I'm laying down stone by stone, foundation by foundation, a life that will endure. When the storms come, and they will, you will not be swept away, because I've placed my hand beneath you, and my word above you, and my spirit within you. That's a fortress no enemy can penetrate. That's a love no failure can undo. When the world sees scars, I see strength. When the world sees disqualification, I see destiny. When others say you've gone too far, I say you're one step closer. I don't count your past against you. I count your faith forward. Every moment you've chosen to believe when it would have been easier to give up has moved you closer to your calling. You're not far. You're closer than you think. So lean in. There's more I want to show you. More peace, more purpose, more presence. But I can only pour into hands that are open. Let go of the tight grip you've had on what was. Trust that what's ahead is far greater. You don't need to understand everything to trust me. You just need to stay close. I'm not in the chaos. I'm in the calm. I'm not in the noise. I'm in the nearness. And I am near to you, closer than your next breath, more faithful than the sunrise. There is so much ahead of you. A story unfolding that's richer than your regrets, deeper than your doubts, more beautiful than what you've lost. You've only seen the beginning, and this beginning is sacred. Do you remember the last time you felt peace so deeply it quieted even the loudest thoughts in your mind? That moment didn't come from circumstances. It came from me. Peace is not a place you find. It's a presence you enter, and I am that presence. When everything around you feels unstable, when your mind races with what-ifs and your heart aches with unknowns, I invite you back. Not to the comfort of solutions, but to the calm of surrender. In me, you will always find your stillness again. You've been walking through a season where clarity seems just out of reach. It's like walking through fog. Each step forward reveals just enough for the next, but never the full picture. That isn't because I'm withholding the future from you. It's because I'm teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. I want you to learn that you can trust me even when you can't trace me. Your steps matter more than your speed. Each time you choose to trust me in the unseen, you grow stronger than you realize. I know you've been hurt before. You've trusted and been disappointed. You've poured out and been left empty. You've given love and received silence. So now you hesitate even with me. I understand that hesitation. But I want you to know, I am not like those who failed you. I don't change my mind about you. I don't turn away when things get difficult. I don't grow weary of your questions or your mess. I stay. Through your rebellion and return, through your faith and your fear, I stay. And I don't just stay. I rebuild. I restore. I redeem every broken piece. Nothing is wasted. Not the time you thought you lost. Not the relationships that ended. Not the mistakes you regret. Every detour still fits into the direction I'm taking you. You may see rubble, but I see the foundation. I can work with shattered things because I'm a master at making beauty from the broken. So stop trying to hide your cracks. They are not signs of failure, they are entry points for grace. The enemy wants to convince you that you're disqualified, that your struggle discredits your calling, that you should sit down, stay quiet, and disbelieve everything I've ever spoken over you. But here is the truth. Your struggle is not a contradiction to your purpose. It's often the confirmation. The weight of your battle is a clue to the size of your destiny. The pressure you feel is not crushing you. It's refining you. You are not being buried. You are being planted. And what grows next will carry fruit beyond what you can imagine. But you must not give in to weariness. I see how tired you are. I see how the days feel long, and the nights even longer. You've smiled in front of others while breaking inside. You've kept going not because you felt strong, but because you didn't know how to stop. And that strength, even in weakness, moves my heart. But I'm not asking you to keep carrying it alone. Rest here now, with me. Let your head fall against my shoulder. Let your fears dissolve in the sound of my promise. You are safe here. People may have misunderstood you, labeled you, doubted you, but I know who you are. I named you. I formed you in secret. I placed eternity in your heart. And I know that your desire is not to be seen by the world. It's to be known, fully and deeply. That longing, I placed it there, because I am the only one who can satisfy it. No human validation can replace the security of being known and loved by me. No applause, no achievement, no relationship. Only me. So let me speak this truth deep into your spirit. You are not forgotten, not overlooked, not unseen. You are chosen, still chosen, even with the scars, even with the doubts, even in your lowest moments. I have not revoked your calling. I have not changed my mind about you. My gifts are irrevocable, and my plans are still in motion. Even when you don't feel worthy, I see the worth that never left you. You've believed that you had to become someone else to be worthy of the blessing. But the truth is, I've always planned to bless the real you, not the masked version, not the performance, not the person you thought I wanted. I want you, as you are, and I will transform you from the inside out, not by pressure, but by presence. Stay close to me and see how your desires begin to shift, your fears begin to dissolve, and your purpose begins to rise. There is a boldness rising in you. A voice that has been silenced by fear is beginning to speak again. That voice carries power, not because of how loud it is, but because of who fuels it. I will give you the words. I will provide the wisdom. I will send the support. But first, I need you to believe again. To believe that your voice matters, that your story carries weight, that your presence is not an accident. You are a light, not because you shine perfectly, but because you carry the flame of my spirit within you. Don't let shame define your story. Don't let disappointment become your identity. Those things happened, yes, but they are not who you are. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not your lowest day. You are my beloved, my redeemed, my appointed, and I am not finished with you, not even close. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one where grace rewrites the story and love replaces fear. You don't have to know how it all ends to trust me in the next step, and the next one after that. I won't rush you, I won't push you, but I will walk with you, at your pace, in your pain, toward your purpose. The next part of your journey isn't about striving. It's about surrendering. It's about learning how to live not just for me, but with me. You don't have to reach some invisible milestone to be accepted. You already are. You always were. The next breakthrough you need is not outside of you. It's already happening within. Stay close. I still have more to show you. There's a part of you that still wonders if I'll come through. You believe in me, yes, but quietly, in the corners of your soul, there are questions you haven't dared to voice. What if this is it? What if things never change? What if I'm asking for too much? And I hear you. I hear the questions behind your silence. The ones you bury beneath busy days and brave faces. You're not wrong for asking them. I don't fear your doubts. I sit with them. I understand them. But I want you to know, I am not a God of halfway answers or forgotten promises. What I began in you, I will finish. I see how often you've looked around and compared your path to others. You've watched people rise while you're still waiting. You've seen prayers answered for them while your own seem delayed. And slowly envy whispers lies. That you're behind, that you've failed, that you're forgotten. But hear me clearly now. I do not measure progress the way the world does. I do not bless on timelines dictated by popularity or position. I know what you need, and more importantly, I know when you need it. The delay is not denial. The waiting is not wasted. In fact, some of your greatest blessings are being wrapped in timing you cannot yet understand. Let me lift the pressure off your shoulders. You don't have to rush to prove you're worthy. You don't have to make things happen with your own strength. I never asked you to play the role of savior. That role is mine. I don't need your perfection. I want your participation. I'm not looking for performance. I'm looking for presence. That's where my power flows, in surrendered hearts, not polished ones. In those who show up not because they've figured it out, but because they know where to turn when they haven't. Your identity is not in your productivity. Your worth is not in your success. Your value is not in how many people notice you. You are valuable because I breathed my spirit into you, because you carry the imprint of heaven in your soul, because before you ever lifted a finger, I declared you mine. And that declaration stands even when you don't feel like enough, especially then, because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you reach the end of yourself, you finally see where I begin. And I have not been idle. While you've wondered if I forgot you, I've been working in places you cannot see, rearranging things on your behalf, opening doors you didn't even know existed, closing others to protect you from paths that would have drained you. I've been aligning people, preparing hearts, and crafting moments of divine intersection that will make you marvel at how every no led to a far greater yes. You think I'm late, but I'm right on time. Eternity doesn't operate by your clock. It operates by my wisdom. You don't need more recognition to be significant. You don't need the spotlight to be seen. I see you. Every quiet act of obedience. Every time you chose integrity over convenience. Every time you forgave when it hurt. Every time you showed up for someone who never said thank you. Every sacrifice made in secret. I saw it all. And I am the God who rewards what's done in the unseen. You don't serve for applause. You serve because you know my heart. And I never overlook the hearts that reflect mine. Let's talk about the fear that lingers just beneath your confidence. The fear that says you'll mess it up, that you'll lose what I gave you, that you're not ready, that the pressure will be too much. But listen to me, you were never called to carry this alone. I never asked you to be strong enough. I asked you to trust that I am. I will hold you up. I will steady your steps. I will pour wisdom into your spirit exactly when you need it. You don't have to fake it with me. You only need to follow me. And I'll never lead you into something without also equipping you for it. Do not underestimate what I can do through you. You think small because you've been hurt, because disappointment trained you to lower your expectations. But I am not limited by your past. I am not confined by your surroundings. I don't choose based on status. I choose based on surrender. If your heart is willing, I can take the smallest seed of faith and turn it into a harvest that shakes generations. I don't need much to begin, just your yes. So give me your yes again, even if it's trembling, even if it's uncertain, even if it's the only thing you have left. That yes can unlock more than you imagine. Not because your yes is powerful, but because I am. I've moved mountains with mustard seeds. I've fed multitudes with crumbs. I've turned water into wine and graves into gardens. Imagine what I can do with your surrendered heart. You were never called to be ordinary. There is a divine calling on your life that the enemy has tried hard to bury beneath fear, failure, and distraction. But no lie can erase what I've spoken over you. No setback can undo what I've written into your future. You are not disqualified. You are not too late. You are not too damaged. You are in process, and that process is holy. So keep going. Even if your steps are slow, even if your path feels unclear, even if your heart feels heavy, keep walking, because I am walking with you. I don't need you to sprint. I need you to stay. I don't require perfection. I long for your presence. I don't ask for strength, I provide it. I am enough for both of us. And one day soon, sooner than you expect, you'll look back and see how everything you thought was falling apart was really falling into place. You'll understand why I said, not yet. You'll thank me for the doors I closed. You'll praise me for the plans I protected. Because what I'm preparing for you is not average. It's not temporary. It's eternal. And it will be worth every step, every tear, every prayer you whispered in the dark. This is not the end. This is the awakening. And it's just getting started. Look at where you are now. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. There's a strength in you that wasn't there before. You may not see it yet, but I do. It's in the way you get up each morning, even when you're tired of the same unanswered questions. It's in the way you speak kindness, even when you've been met with cold silence. It's in the way you pray, not for things, but for peace. That strength didn't come from your surroundings. Came from me. From the countless moments you chose to believe even when nothing around you seemed to change. You have survived what was meant to break you. That's no small thing. You've stood in storms with no shelter. You've wept behind closed doors. You've questioned everything but somehow held on to just enough faith to keep walking. Don't diminish that. Don't call it weakness when it was actually endurance. You've been tested by fire, and though you may have felt scorched, you came out refined. Not burned, purified. I know you've prayed for comfort, but what I've been building in you is character. Not the kind that fades with applause, but the kind that stands tall in silence. The kind that doesn't need to be seen to be secure. I've been teaching you how to carry peace, not just feel it. How to lead with grace, not just receive it. How to hear my voice in the stillness, not just in the miracle. What I've built in the quiet will carry you when the noise comes. Some days you've wondered why I didn't step in and stop the pain. Why I didn't block the betrayal, or silence the heartbreak, or shield you from the heaviness. But I want you to see something deeper. I was there in every moment. Not as the author of your suffering, but as the one who caught your tears and stayed when others left. I could have removed the pain, but instead, I chose to redeem it. Because redemption is always more powerful than escape. What you went through will not be wasted. It will become the very soil from which compassion and wisdom grow. You may not realize it yet, but the story of your healing is already healing others. Even when you're not speaking, your life speaks. Your perseverance is a sermon. Your humility is a ministry. Your resilience is a testimony. People are watching you not to see if you're perfect, but to see if hope still works. And when they look at you, they'll see that it does. Not because you avoided the fire, but because you walked through it with me and didn't lose your light. I know there are still things you want. Dreams you've tucked away in corners of your soul. Goals you hardly speak out loud anymore because you're afraid of disappointment. But I haven't forgotten them. I remember every prayer, even the ones you whispered with trembling lips. I remember every time you closed your eyes and dared to imagine a different future. I placed those dreams in you not to tease you, but to lead you. They are clues to your calling. They are echoes of my design. Don't bury them out of fear. Bring them back to me, and I will show you how to water what the world said would never grow. And yes, there will still be moments when doubt creeps in, when you question your own voice, your place, your worth. But in those moments, I will remind you of who you are. Not what the world says, not what your mistakes claim, not what fear whispers in the dark, but what I have always declared. You are my beloved. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are covered. You are carried. You are called. Let me take you deeper still, not into striving, but into surrender. Not into control, but into trust. You don't need to figure it all out right now. What you need is to walk with me moment by moment. I will illuminate just enough for today. That's all you need. Not the full map, just enough light for the next step. Trust that I'm guiding you even when you can't see the road ahead. Trust that when you need strength, it will come. That when you need provision, it will arrive. That when you feel alone, I will be closer than your breath. Let's talk about love for a moment. Not the kind the world offers, but the love I pour. Mine doesn't waver based on your behavior. It doesn't lessen when you fall short. It doesn't disappear when you struggle to believe. My love doesn't ask you to earn it. It simply asks you to receive it. You've spent so much energy trying to prove you're enough. But what if I told you you've always been enough? What if I told you there's nothing you could do to make me love you more or less? When you feel like giving up, come back here, to this place, to this voice. Let my words be your anchor. Let them echo louder than your fears. Let them remind you that I am not a distant deity watching from afar. I am a present Father, walking beside you in every breath, every choice, every moment. And I want to say this again, because I know your heart still needs to hear it. You have not missed your moment. You have not fallen too far. You have not disqualified yourself from the good I have planned. I know how to restore time. I know how to redeem mistakes. I know how to rebuild what was broken. I specialize in second chances, third chances, 100th chances. My grace doesn't expire. My mercy is new every single morning. So let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. Let go of the weight of what others expect from you. Let go of the idea that you must be everything to everyone. You only need to be my child. That is your truest identity. That is where your power begins. And from that place, from that unshakable love, everything else will flow. This is where your next chapter begins. Not from striving, not from perfection, but from surrender. And I will be with you, guiding, holding, empowering, loving. Always, let me take you further. There is more waiting for you. More clarity, more restoration, more intimacy with me. But before you can step into that next season, we need to address something quietly hiding beneath the surface. The fear of failure. Not the kind that you talk about with others, but the kind that whispers in your mind when you're alone. The voice that says, what if I try again and it doesn't work? What if I open my heart and get hurt again? What if I'm not strong enough to carry what you've promised? I see you, and I want you to know, failure does not scare me. I am not threatened by your fears. I am not deterred by your past. I'm not watching from a distance, waiting for you to get it all right before I step in. I've been beside you from the beginning, even when your faith was fragile, even when you couldn't lift your own head. I didn't choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because I love you. Period. No conditions, no expiration, no performance required. You've carried so much on your own for so long that you've started to believe you must. But let me ask you this. When did you begin to think that surrender was weakness? When did you start believing that needing help made you less worthy? It doesn't. True strength begins where your self-reliance ends. That's where I come in. Not to take over your story, but to help you write a better one. You don't have to be the hero. I already am. Come sit with me. Yes, right now, in the middle of everything. Unfinished tasks, uncertain plans, unanswered questions. Sit in the quiet and let me pour peace into the places that have been drained by doubt. You don't have to figure everything out today. You don't have to have a 5-step plan. All you need is one breath of faith. Just one whispered, I trust you, can part seas and shift atmospheres. I can do more with your surrender than you can with a lifetime of striving. Let's talk about the dreams you thought were dead. The ones you buried under disappointment and practicality. I know you stopped talking about them, even to me, but I haven't forgotten. I never bury what I intend to resurrect. Some things had to go quiet for a while, not because they were over, but because I was preparing you to carry them with wisdom, not just emotion. With endurance, not just excitement. When I breathe on them again, and I will, you'll see why the waiting mattered. What I'm bringing you into requires a deeper version of you. And that's who you've been becoming all along. You don't need to apologize for the process. You don't need to hide the days you felt weak. I saw you showing up anyway. That mattered more than you know. The strength of your spirit isn't found in how loudly you praise me when things are easy. It's found in the whisper of faith when everything feels silent. That whisper echoes louder in heaven than the highest shout of victory. I've placed something unshakable inside you, something no storm can erase. That something is purpose, destiny, calling. And even when it feels like you've lost your way, it's still there. You can't unbecome what I created. You may wander, but you are never lost to me. You may fall, but you are never forsaken. My love doesn't evaporate with your doubt. It deepens. My grace doesn't shrink in your struggle. It expands. You are held. You are heard. You are here for a reason. Stop waiting until you feel perfect to step forward. Stop holding yourself hostage to yesterday's mistakes. Let me remind you, the enemy accuses. I restore. The enemy confuses. I clarify. The enemy distracts. I realign. You were not created to live in cycles of guilt and fear. You were made for freedom, and not the kind that depends on everything going right, the kind that exists even when nothing around you changes. Because true freedom doesn't come from circumstances. It comes from truth. And I am the truth. You've been surrounded by noise, voices pulling you in different directions, opinions trying to define who you are. But my voice is different. My voice stills the storm. My voice calms the chaos. My voice speaks identity, not insecurity. Destiny, not doubt. So listen closely. Not to the crowd, not to the culture, not even to your own critical thoughts. Listen to me. Let my voice be the loudest in your life. You ask how to move forward. Here's how: one step. Just one. Not a leap. Not a sprint. A step. One decision to believe again. One choice to pray again. One act of obedience, no matter how small. That's how miracles begin. Not with fanfare, but with faith. The kind that says, even if I don't see it yet, I believe you're working. That kind of faith moves mountains, opens doors, breaks chains. And you carry it. Don't be afraid to start again. Starting again doesn't mean you failed. It means you're alive. It means grace is still flowing. It means you're being renewed. Let go of the fear that says it has to look like someone else's journey. Yours is holy. Yours is handcrafted. Yours is anointed. And even in the places where you feel behind, I am ahead of you, making a way. I haven't forgotten what I promised you, and I haven't changed my mind about you. Every prophecy still stands. Every word I've spoken is still alive. My word never returns void. It always accomplishes what I send it to do. So hold on, not to the outcome, but to me. Not to the feeling, but to the truth. Not to what you see, but to who I am. The story isn't over. The light hasn't gone out. You're still breathing, and that means purpose still pulses through your veins. Get ready, beloved. A shift is coming. A wave of my spirit is drawing near. And when it touches your life, nothing will look the same. Not because the world changed, but because you did. This is the moment where faith becomes fire. You've been waiting for a sign. Something clear. Something bold. Something undeniable to confirm what you've been carrying inside. But here's what I want you to hear now. Sometimes the sign is you. You are the evidence that I'm working. Every step you've taken through fire and fear, every choice to rise when quitting felt easier, every act of love that came from a heart still healing, those are not just signs. They are miracles in motion. You are not waiting to become something great. You already are the living proof of my greatness within you. So stop waiting for external validation. You don't need their permission to walk in your calling. You don't need the crowd's applause to know you're chosen. My voice already confirmed it. My spirit already sealed it. And no one can unwrite what I've declared over your life. You are not overlooked. You are not optional. You are essential to the story I'm unfolding in this world. You carry something no one else carries. And when you begin to walk in that truth, the atmosphere around you begins to shift. It's time to stand up, not with arrogance, but with authority. The authority I've placed within you. The authority that comes not from title or status, but from relationship. You walk with me, you know my voice. You've endured with me, wept with me, trusted me when it didn't make sense. And now it's time to step forward, not as someone still waiting for worth, but as someone fully rooted in it. There is a boldness in you that's been buried by fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of repeating the past. But I did not give you a spirit of fear. I gave you power. I gave you love. I gave you a sound mind. And today, I'm calling that boldness to rise again. Not a boldness that pushes others away, but one that knows how to stand still in storms, how to speak life into dead places, how to love fiercely even when it costs everything. You've been silent for too long, hiding your voice, dimming your light, second-guessing the things I've placed in you. But let me remind you, I placed that fire in your bones for a reason. I shaped your heart to feel deeply. I wired your soul for truth. And I've given you a message this world desperately needs to hear. Your story is not just your own. It's a torch I intend for you to carry into dark places. Not everyone will understand. Not everyone will agree. But that's not your burden to bear. Obedience is yours. Outcome is mine. And yes, the enemy has tried to silence you. Through discouragement, through delay, through distraction. But what the enemy didn't realize is this. Every attack has only made you stronger. Every lie has only pushed you closer to my truth. Every setback has only been a setup for the next move I'm about to make through you. Nothing has been wasted. Not a tear. Not a waiting season. Not a disappointment. I've used them all to fortify you. You are not fragile, you are forged. So stop shrinking. Stop apologizing for the anointing on your life. Stop trying to make others comfortable by minimizing what I've made magnificent. You are not called to blend in. You are called to shine. Not for your glory, but for mine. Not to draw attention to yourself, but to point others to the one who brought you through. This light in you, it's me. This hope you carry, it's me. This peace that sustains you, it's me. And I'm not finished yet. You're stepping into a season where what's been hidden will be revealed. Where what's been planted in secret will bloom in public. Where the prayers you've whispered in the dark will become testimonies shouted in the light. But don't be surprised when resistance rises too. It's not a sign that you're wrong. It's confirmation that you're walking in the right direction. Darkness always fights what threatens its grip. But don't be afraid. You don't fight alone. I go before you. I surround you. I empower you. Every weapon formed against you will fail. Every tongue that rises to condemn you will be silenced. Not by your effort, but by my authority. I am your defender. I am your provider. I am your strength. And if I am for you, who can be against you? So walk with confidence, not because you have all the answers, but because you walk with the one who does. Let your voice carry truth, even when it trembles. Let your heart stay soft, even when it's been hurt. Let your faith stay fierce, even when the fire rages. This is not the time to retreat. This is the time to rise, because you were made for this moment. Everything you've walked through has prepared you for now. Every trial, every test, every tear, it all built the resilience you now carry. And I will use it for my glory, for your good, for the healing of others. Your obedience is a key that will unlock freedom in places you haven't even seen yet. Don't wait until you feel ready. You won't always. Don't wait until it's easy. It rarely will be. Just say yes. Just take the step. Just open your mouth, your hands, your heart. And I will meet you there with power, with provision, with peace. I'm not asking you to be fearless. I'm asking you to trust me anyway. I'm not asking you to walk alone. I'm promising to walk with you. Every step, every season, every shift. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into my plan. And that plan is filled with promise. This is your moment to move. You've carried the weight of so many expectations. Some spoken, some silently absorbed. expectations from your past, your culture, your family, even your own inner voice. But now it's time to release what was never yours to carry. I never called you to fulfill everyone's idea of who you should be. I called you to become who I created you to be. That version, the one formed in my image, the one led by my spirit, is not a burdened performer, but a beloved child walking in purpose and peace. You've tried to hold everything together. You've tried to be the strong one, the one who always has the answers, the one who keeps smiling even when your heart is breaking. But I see behind the strength. I see the exhaustion you never speak about. I see the way you fall into bed wondering if you'll ever feel free again. And I'm not disappointed in you. I'm not asking you to try harder. I'm asking you to let go. Come into my rest. Not later, not someday. Now, you were not created to burn out under the weight of the world. You were created to burn bright with the light of heaven. Let me breathe on your soul again. Let me revive the dreams that got lost beneath the daily grind. Let me reignite the passion that once burned so clearly before fear and failure tried to dim it. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to shine, to lead, to love, to live with a fire that no darkness can put out. And that fire starts with me. You don't have to manufacture it. You don't have to fake it. You just have to stay near the flame, near my presence. That's where everything changes. You've wondered if you've missed too many chances, if you've wandered too far. But I want you to know this. I'm not counting your wrong turns. I'm counting the moments your heart turns toward me. That's what matters most. Every time you come back, I run to meet you. Every time you whisper my name, I answer. My grace doesn't run out. My mercy isn't rationed. It's abundant, overflowing, endless. I don't resent your need for me. I delight in it, because I am your Father, and you were never meant to walk this life without me. The world will try to define success by things that fade: money, influence, applause. But I measure success by transformation, by how much more your heart looks like mine, by how much more peace lives inside you, by how much more love you pour out even when it costs. You won't always be able to see your own growth, but trust me, it's there. In the way you pause before reacting, in the way you forgive faster, in the way you return to me more quickly than before. That is holy progress. There will always be distractions, always something to pull your focus, always something urgent trying to replace what's truly important. But don't let the noise rob you of the beauty of this moment. Don't let busyness rob you of my presence. You don't need to have it all figured out to be close to me. You just need to be willing to stop running, willing to quiet your soul, willing to say, "Here I am, Lord. I don't have much, but I'm yours." That surrender is where miracles begin. There's a calling on your life that's greater than comfort. I'm not inviting you into a life of ease. I'm inviting you into a life of meaning. Yes, there will be sacrifice. Yes, it will stretch you. But nothing you give up for me will ever leave you empty. I fill every space that obedience opens. I reward what no one else sees. And I honor the courage it takes to say yes when everything in you wants to stay safe. You weren't created for comfort zones. You were created to walk on water. And you won't do it alone. I am not just near you. I am within you. My spirit lives inside you, guiding your steps, shaping your thoughts, giving you strength when your own runs dry. You are not navigating life with just your own wisdom. You carry divine insight. You carry heavenly perspective. And when you tap into that, fear has no hold on you. Confusion has no place in you, because you begin to see not with natural eyes, but with the eyes of faith. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. You are empowered. You are appointed. You are anointed. And you are exactly where you need to be for the next step to begin. Stop looking around for signs to prove you're ready. I already said you were. Now go. Go with confidence. Go with joy. Go with expectation. You are stepping into a season of clarity, of authority, of breakthrough. And not because you earned it, but because you're finally ready to receive it. Your story doesn't end with struggle. It begins again with surrender. That's how resurrection works. That's how new life is born. not through trying harder, but through letting me in, into the pain, into the past, into the places you thought were too far gone. Nothing is too dead for me to breathe on. Nothing is too dark for my light to reach. I specialize in impossible things. So let's begin again. Let today be the day you stop surviving and start thriving. Let today be the day you remember who you really are, not what the world told you, not what the enemy tried to convince you of, but who I say you are. My beloved, my creation, my vessel of light, my voice in this generation. You are not here by accident. You are not listening by chance. I appointed this moment to remind you of what the world made you forget. That you are mine, and I am not finished with you yet. There is a version of your life you haven't seen yet. A version that exists just beyond the horizon of fear. A life not shaped by old patterns, but by new possibilities. A life where peace isn't temporary, and joy isn't dependent on circumstance. You've caught glimpses of it in moments of worship, in silent prayers, in flashes of hope that broke through the fog. But now I want you to live there, not just visit, not just long for it, live in it, dwell in the land of promise, not as a guest, but as an heir. Too often you've treated freedom like a reward for getting everything right. But freedom is not the destination of your faith. It's the foundation. I've already paid the price. I've already broken the chains. You don't need to earn access to my presence. It's open. It's yours. Right here. Right now. Stop waiting until you feel qualified. Stop waiting until the circumstances are perfect. Come as you are, with the fear, with the doubt, with the hope you're scared to hold. Come, and I will meet you. You've prayed for doors to open. But what if I told you the next door is already unlocked? You've been waiting for signs in the sky, but the real sign is the stirring in your spirit. That quiet conviction, that gentle nudge, that persistent knowing that refuses to fade. That is me. I am calling you to move, not recklessly, not out of panic, but out of peace. Step forward, not because you have every answer, but because you trust the one who goes before you. Faith is not the absence of questions. It's the presence of movement. It's the courage to keep walking even when the path is unclear. You don't have to see the full picture to trust the painter. I'm creating something beautiful in you, something worth the waiting, worth the tears, worth the wrestle. Every stroke of pain, every color of joy, every shadow, every highlight. I'm blending it into something eternal. You are becoming more radiant than you know. And I know it hasn't been easy. You've faced things that others don't even know about. You've fought battles that left you drained and doubting. But here's what you need to hear. Even on your worst day, you were never abandoned. I carried you when you couldn't carry yourself. I surrounded you with grace when guilt tried to consume you. I defended you when accusations echoed in your mind. And I'm still here, unmoved, unchanging, unshaken by anything you've been through. You've asked for healing and I am bringing it. But not just in your body or your situation. I am healing your perspective, the way you see yourself, the way you see others, the way you see me. I'm replacing suspicion with security. I'm turning anxiety into awareness of my presence. I'm restoring your ability to dream again, to believe again, to live again. You are not just being patched up. You are being renewed from the inside out. Let me speak to the lie that's haunted you quietly. The one that says you've gone too far, that you've messed up too much, that there's something permanently wrong with you. That lie is not from me. It never was. I am not the accuser. I am your advocate. I am not the condemner. I am your comforter. I don't sit back waiting to punish. I lean in, ready to embrace. My love is not a temporary shelter. It's your eternal home. And in that home, there is no shame, only grace, only truth, only restoration. You don't have to hide your scars. They're not signs of defeat. They're signs of healing. They're proof that you've been through the fire and survived, that you've been broken and rebuilt, that even though life tried to crush you, your spirit remained. That is strength. That is beauty. That is my work in you. I know sometimes it feels like the breakthrough is just out of reach, like you've prayed and waited and believed, and still, the door hasn't opened. But hear this, Delays are not denials. I'm not punishing you with waiting. I'm preparing something better than what you asked for. I'm not ignoring your cry. I'm answering in a way that won't just satisfy your need, but multiply your impact. What I'm building in you is bigger than you think. It's not just for you. It's for everyone connected to you. Your obedience today will unlock freedom for someone tomorrow. So stay with me, even when it's slow, even when it's silent, even when it stretches your patience. Keep showing up in faith. Keep praying. Keep hoping. Keep worshiping. Not because everything is perfect, but because I am still worthy. Your consistency in the unseen will bear fruit in the open. Seeds take time to sprout, but once they do, they multiply beyond anything you could imagine. You are stepping into a new level of grace, a new level of trust, a new level of clarity. Not because you earned it, but because you're finally ready to receive it. You're not the same person you were last year, last month, or even yesterday. You've grown. You've healed. You've surrendered. And now your spirit is prepared to carry what's next. Don't doubt what I can do through you. Don't question if you're ready. If I called you, I'll equip you. If I planted the dream, I'll water it. If I started the work, I'll finish it. You are not walking blind, you are walking in obedience. And obedience always leads to blessing, even when it doesn't feel like it at first. You are not who the world says you are. You are who I say you are. And I say this, you are loved. You are chosen. You are enough. You are mine. And I will never let go of you. You've come further than you realize. There's a quiet strength inside you now, built in seasons where you thought you were standing still. But I want you to see what I see. I see the faith that kept rising when fear tried to crush it. I see the humility that bloomed through your hidden sacrifices. I see the way your spirit has grown, not through applause, but through pressure. And I'm proud of you. I am, not just for what you've done, but for who you've become. You don't need to wait until the world acknowledges your growth for me to recognize it. I was there when no one clapped for you. I watched you choose grace when you were misunderstood. I watched you choose silence when you could have defended yourself. I saw the prayers you prayed not for yourself, but for others. Those unseen moments, they moved heaven. That's the kind of worship I treasure most. Faithfulness when no one is watching. I know the questions still linger. Lord, what comes next? Am I ready for what you're preparing? Will I have what it takes when it arrives? And the answer is simple, yes. Not because you've mastered every skill or conquered every doubt, but because I am with you. You are not stepping into the future alone. You are stepping with me, and my presence is not passive. I go ahead of you. I fight battles you'll never have to see. I position people in your path, create opportunities before you knock, and release favor before you even ask. You're entering a time where clarity will replace confusion, where the noise of doubt will begin to quiet, and the voice of truth will rise louder in your spirit than ever before. But I need you to stay close. Don't let success pull you away. Don't let answers become more important than the one who gives them. I am not just the God of the outcome. I'm the God of every step. I want to walk with you, not just arrive with you. Let's talk about your calling, not just the dream, but the daily mission. You keep thinking your impact depends on reaching the multitudes. But what if I told you it begins with the one person who crosses your path today, the one who needs kindness, the one who needs truth, the one who needs to feel seen. Don't underestimate the small assignments. Big callings are built in hidden faithfulness. What you do when no one is watching shapes what I can trust you with when everyone is watching. There's still more for you. Don't settle here. Don't mistake this resting place for the finish line. You've been faithful, but I'm calling you to fruitful. You've healed, but I'm calling you to help others heal. You've grown, but I'm calling you to lead. I place something in you that the world needs. Not just your voice, but your heart, your insight, your spirit. You carry my love in a way that transforms environments. You don't have to change who you are to do what I've called you to do. I created you for this. Everything about your personality, your past, your passions, they're all part of the design. And no, it won't always be easy. There will still be moments of doubt. Days where the vision feels too heavy. Nights where you question your place in it all. But in those moments, come back here. Come back to this truth. I am your source. Not people. Not platforms. Not accolades. Me. I am the well that never runs dry. I am the light that never dims. I am the peace that doesn't depend on the outcome. When you run out, I pour in. When you feel weak, I become your strength. When you feel unseen, I remind you, you are always known by me. Your role is not just to receive my goodness, but to reflect it. You are a mirror of my love, a vessel of my hope. You're not just here to be comforted, you're here to comfort. You're not just here to be filled, you're here to overflow. And that's not pressure, that's partnership. I'm not asking you to do this alone. I'm inviting you to walk with me, to wake up each day and say, Lord, use me in whatever way you choose. That's where the miraculous begins, not in the spotlight, but in surrender. You've been holding back, afraid that if you fully commit, it might cost you more than you can give. But what you don't see yet is that what you gain will always outweigh what you give. I am no one's debtor. I repay faith with fulfillment. I honor obedience with overflow. You may have to let go of comfort, but I will replace it with purpose. You may have to release the familiar, but I will exchange it for freedom. You'll never sacrifice something for me that I won't multiply in ways you never imagined. So breathe. The pressure isn't on you to perform. It's on me to fulfill. Your part is to stay willing, to stay connected, to stay available. When you feel tired, lean on me. When you feel discouraged, listen for my whisper. When you feel unsure, take the step anyway. I'll meet you there. You've trusted me this far. Don't stop now. The next chapter will require more faith, but it will also reveal more glory. You are stepping into alignment, into flow, into favor, not because you're lucky, but because you're loved. And this love, it's unshakable. It's not based on your performance. It's rooted in who I am, and I never change. This is not just another season. This is a sacred one. One where you stop questioning your place and start owning your purpose. One where you no longer walk like a servant who fears rejection, but as a son or daughter who knows their home. And I'll be right here, guiding, providing, strengthening, rejoicing, with every step you take. You've heard me speak in whispers. You've felt my presence in quiet moments, in the hush of dawn and the stillness of prayer. But now I'm calling you to rise, to stand, to move with intention, because this is not just about healing anymore, it's about building. Not just about surviving anymore, it's about stepping into legacy. You weren't created merely to recover from the wounds of yesterday. You were created to shape tomorrow with the authority I've placed in your hands. I know the hesitation that still lingers, the part of you that wonders if you're really ready, if you truly carry what it takes. But what you don't realize is that readiness isn't about how much you know. It's about how deeply you trust. And you've learned trust in fire. You've learned it through tears. You've built it slowly in the silence between the breakthroughs. That trust, that's your readiness. That's your preparation. That's the foundation I'm building on. You think I'm calling you because of what you can do, but I'm calling you because of who you are. Who I made you to be long before the world gave you labels. Long before shame tried to define you. Long before fear tried to contain you. I see past the layers. I speak to the core. And what I see in you is beautiful. Not someday. Now. Not when you've fixed everything. Now. Not once you've achieved more. Now. You are already enough, not because of your accomplishments, but because of my image in you. And yet there's more. More territory to take. More people to reach. More love to give. More of my glory to reflect. I didn't save you just to make your life easier. I saved you to make your life meaningful. I pulled you from the pit so that you could return to rescue others. You know the way now. You know what it's like to be lost and found. You know what grace feels like when it wraps around brokenness and doesn't let go. That knowledge, that experience, is power. Use it. The world is aching for authenticity. For voices that have been through the fire and still carry peace. For hearts that have bled and still believe in beauty. You are that voice. You are that heart. You are not disqualified because of your wounds. You are entrusted because of your healing. You don't need a stage. You don't need a spotlight. You only need a heart that says, God, I'm here. Use me, and I will. I'll open doors you never knew existed. I'll align moments with precision only heaven could orchestrate. I'll surround you with people who see your anointing and not just your appearance. I'll put words in your mouth that pierce through lies and awaken destiny in others. You don't have to force this. You don't have to market yourself into influence. Just walk with me. Just love well. Just stay surrendered. That's where the miraculous unfolds. There's no competition in my kingdom. Your calling doesn't threaten anyone else's. Your light doesn't dim another's. You don't have to fight for attention or approval. You are already seen, already chosen, already positioned. Focus less on being impressive and more on being present. I'll handle the increase. You handle the integrity. I'll handle the platform. You handle the posture of your heart. Stay humble. Stay teachable. Stay open. This next season will stretch you. But don't fear the stretch. It's a sign of growth. Muscles don't strengthen without resistance. Faith doesn't mature without friction. But in the tension, I'll be your stability. In the stretching, I'll be your strength. You are not being pulled apart, you're being pulled forward. And everything I've done in you until now was only the beginning. I want to pour through you, not trickle pour, but I can only pour into what's empty. So make space. Clear the clutter. Release what no longer aligns with the calling. Some things served you once but can't go with you now. Some relationships were part of your healing but not part of your launching. Don't fear the release. With every letting go comes a greater filling. I'm not just giving you inspiration. I'm giving you instruction. Start where you are. Speak what you know. Share what I've done. Love like I've loved you. Led like I've led you. You're more equipped than you think. You've been prepared in the shadows, trained in the wilderness, strengthened in obscurity. And now the light is shifting, not so you can be seen, but so that others can see me through you. I don't need perfect vessels. I need willing ones. I need those who've been broken and still say yes. I need those who've been disappointed and still choose to hope. That's you. You're not here by coincidence. You're not listening to these words by chance. I ordained this moment to remind you. It's time. Time to step forward. Time to stop shrinking. Time to stop doubting your value. You are a light in this generation. And light was never meant to hide. What I've placed inside you is for such a time as this. It's not for later. Not for when you feel more confident. Not for when others finally affirm you. It's for now. And as you walk in it, the fear will begin to fade. The clarity will come. The provision will follow. The favor will surround you like a shield. Not because you demanded it, but because you simply said yes. So say it again. In the quiet of your heart. In the space where only you and I dwell. Yes, Lord. I'm ready. Whatever it looks like. Wherever it leads. However it stretches me. I trust you. That's all I need. And that's where everything begins. Look at how far we've come. Look at all the places where you thought you were alone. But now you see I was there. In every valley. At every dead end. When others turned away. When fear wrapped around your mind like a fog. I never left. You may have wandered. You may have fallen. But I stayed. Because that's what love does. It stays. It doesn't wait for perfection. It walks through the mess. And I never stopped walking with you. This moment right now is holy. Not because everything around you is perfect, but because you are present. Because you're listening. Because your heart is open. And when you open your heart, I can begin to rewrite what shame tried to edit. I can begin to reveal what fear tried to hide. There are gifts in you that have been asleep for too long. Not dead, just dormant. But I am awakening them again. Calling them back to life. You may have forgotten your fire, but I haven't. And I'm breathing on the embers now. You've lived long enough under the weight of what others thought of you. It's time to rise under the weight of what I've spoken over you. My word is heavier than any opinion. My promise is louder than every lie. When I say you are chosen, nothing can unchoose you. When I say you are mine, no rejection can separate you. You've allowed too many voices to shape your identity. Let mine be the final one. the truest one, the eternal one. You don't need to prove anything. The fruit will speak for itself. The love you carry, the peace that follows you into rooms, the joy that doesn't depend on conditions. That's what sets you apart. That's what reveals me in you. You were never meant to compete, you were meant to complete. To bring something this world hasn't seen. Not because it's flashy, but because it's real. Not because it's loud, but because it's lasting. There are moments ahead you haven't imagined. Moments that will feel like full circle grace. Conversations you thought would never happen. Doors you thought were locked forever swinging open without you needing to knock. But more than that, there will be moments when you realize that what you were chasing was already within you. That you didn't need more to feel whole. You just needed to see how whole you already were in me. Stop waiting for the moment to feel right. The enemy loves to trap you in hesitation. He loves to whisper, later, but I'm speaking, now. Now is when faith lives. Now is when obedience matters. Now is when hearts are hungry, and I want to feed them through you. What you have is enough. Your story is enough. Your presence is enough. Don't hide what I've healed. Don't silence what I've spoken. You've asked me to use you. I will. But don't expect it to always look the way you imagined. I often work in upside-down ways. I bring life through surrender, strength through stillness, victory through humility. The world will call it foolish. Let them. My wisdom confounds the wise. My strategy disrupts systems. And yet it always prevails. You'll be tempted to question yourself, to shrink when the cost feels high. But remember this, you were built for this. You were not created for comfort, you were created for calling. You were not placed here to float. You were sent here to fight, to love, to light the way. And I will sustain you. Every time you feel like giving up, I'll be there reminding you why you started, why I called you, why it's worth it. There will be people who misunderstand you. That's okay. You're not here to be understood by all, you're here to be obedient to me. Let that be enough. And in time, the fruit will speak. In time, the ones you're called to will hear and respond. You're not responsible for the outcome. You're responsible for the offering. And you've been offering more than you know. Even now, seeds you planted in past seasons, through tears, through sacrifice, through faith when it made no sense, those seeds are breaking ground. It's not your job to force them to grow. Just stay rooted. Stay nourished in my presence. Stay steady when the wind tries to sway you. I am the one who makes all things grow. And the harvest that's coming, it will bring joy beyond measure. So don't lose heart. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. You're stronger than you feel. And you're more prepared than you realize. Everything you've walked through has been shaping you for this. And it wasn't just for you. It was for everyone who will find hope in your voice, healing in your story, and direction in your steps. This is legacy. This is impact. This is purpose, no longer delayed. The next part is bigger than your comfort zone, but it's smaller than your faith, and your faith is growing. I've seen it. I've honored it, and I will build on it. Say yes again. This is it. The moment where your soul exhales. The moment where everything starts to make sense. Not because all the answers have arrived, but because you've finally remembered who's been with you all along. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a greater one. A life that doesn't revolve around fear or failure or what-ifs, but a life centered in me, rooted in peace, anchored in love, fueled by purpose. You've walked through fire, and now you carry flame. Not the kind that burns, but the kind that warms, that lights, that draws others in. You don't even realize yet how many people are watching you, how many are learning to believe again because they've seen you keep walking. They've seen you rise again and again, not because you never fell, but because grace kept lifting you. And that's what makes your life powerful. Not perfection, not polish, but persistence. A heart that doesn't quit. A spirit that chooses light even after walking through dark. A soul that says, even here I will praise. That kind of life shakes heaven. That kind of life defeats darkness without raising a sword. You were made for impact. Not the kind that fades, but the kind that echoes into eternity. Every act of obedience has ripple effects you may never see. Every time you say yes to me, even when it costs, you're building something that will outlive you. That's legacy. Not just success, not just security, but significance. And that's what I've always had in mind for you. You've tried to run from this at times. You've tried to hide. You've convinced yourself that someone else would be better suited for this. That someone with fewer scars, less fear, more strength should be the one. But here's what I want you to understand. It was never about your resume. It was always about your heart. And your heart, raw, surrendered, hungry for truth, is exactly what I use. I've seen every yes you gave when no one was watching. I've seen the courage it took to keep showing up. I've seen the forgiveness you extended when it wasn't returned. And I want you to know it all mattered. Nothing is wasted. No moment of obedience goes unnoticed. No seed of love returns void. I multiply what's sown in faith. I breathe on what's offered in surrender. And I build eternal beauty from what the world ignores. So lift your head. You are not who you were when this journey began. You've shed fear. You've traded anxiety for trust. You've discovered that intimacy with me is more valuable than clarity. That presence is better than performance. That peace isn't the absence of storms, but my presence in the middle of them. And now you carry that peace. You reflect it. You live it. You're not the same. You've been refined. You've been prepared. And now you're being released into purpose, into assignment, into places where your words will matter. Your prayers will break chains. Your story will unlock doors. Don't play small now. The world doesn't need a diluted version of you. It needs you, full of me. You bold in love. You steady in grace. You radiant with heaven's fire. There will still be days when you feel unsure. There will still be moments where the old voice of fear tries to return. But now you know what to do. You've learned how to fight without fear, how to lead without striving, how to speak without needing to be heard. You know how to return to me, and that, beloved, is victory. So walk forward now, not to earn love, but because you already have it. Not to prove your worth, but because you finally believe in it. Not to impress anyone, but because you're ready to shine. You are my light in this world, a vessel of compassion, a reflection of redemption, a living testimony that I still move, I still call, I still raise people from the ashes and place crowns of beauty where there was once brokenness. This is your time. This is your moment. And I'm not watching from afar. I'm walking with you, in you, through you. Every step, every word, every breath. Now go. And never forget who you are and who you belong to.
If you've made it to this moment, it's not by accident. You didn't just watch a video, you walked through a sacred encounter. One word, one breath at a time, heaven spoke life into your weary places. And now, the invitation continues. Don't let this be the end. Let it be the beginning. A beginning where you live not in fear, but in faith. Not in doubt, but in divine purpose. If this message touched you, share it. Speak it. Live it. Someone you know needs to hear what you just received. And always remember, you are chosen. You are loved. You are never alone. This is your time. This is your calling. Now go and walk in the light of the one who called you.